So Greg Orloff with IIoT World, and I'm here with Dustin Olson. Dustin is the CEO of PureCycle Technologies. It's a plastics company, greenfield investment. So Dustin, tell us what you guys are going to do over there.
Yeah, we're a new company. We're born out of Procter & Gamble. We have a really unique recycling technology, which is specifically designed for polypropylene. Polypropylene is the biggest of all plastic segments. It's like 1/3 of the plastic production, or 175 billion pounds per year globally, so it's big.
It's a lot of plastic.
Yeah, and really it's a tough plastic to recycle because it's so good. It's used everywhere. It's used in rigids and film and fiber. It's carpet and then food and ag and auto, everywhere. And you can do a lot of things with it, and it makes it really difficult to recycle. But what Procter & Gamble did about a decade ago is they said, look, we don't see any solutions out there that we really like, so let's try to invent something different. And they did, and then they looked for a company that could scale it, and they found us. And so, we're doing that now. We're scaling this technology around the world, and it's really cool because it's a fundamentally different approach to recycling. What we do is we take, there's lots of different kinds. Some people dilute the plastic away. Some people break the plastic down into smaller parts. What we do is it's like putting the molecule through a washing machine.
Okay.
So we bring the molecule into a washing machine, we scrub it, we wash it, we take all the contaminants away, the colors, the dyes, the odors, the fillers, the rubbers. We take all that out, and we leave behind a plastic that's just like fossil PP. And so it's really revolutionary because customers love the idea of using a recycled product, but it's really hard for them to do because it has so many other hangers that come with it, and we take all that away and make effectively a no compromise solution for the customer.
Interesting. So I know part of the issue has been when organizations want to use recycle or regrind or some of those materials, you've got those contaminants in there that just don't lend themselves well to reprocessing if you're doing injection molding or other things. How does this product stack up once it's gone through your process?
Yeah, well, we've done a lot of testing to compare our product versus fossil-based polypropylene, and it compares really nicely. So from a mechanical property perspective, it's very good. Yeah, and look, the biggest improvement that we bring to the molecule compared to others is that we're never a little bit too blue or a little bit too red or a little bit off yellow or off gray or black that you want to move it into a different color. We're always clear. And so the customer,
got the color in too.
We take the colors out, we take the odors out, we take all the fillers out, and that's why I say it's a molecular wash. We've got this real long molecule. It's got lots of stuff mixed into it that gives it the properties that you need for the specific application. And we run it through our process. We scrub it, we wash it, we take all the contaminants out, and we leave behind the polypropylene.
Now, people may be wondering, why am I talking to a plastic group? I'm with IIoT World, the Industrial Internet of Things. But what you told us the other night here at Emerson Exchange, you were talking about a greenfield investment. You're building a new facility in Ohio, correct? Mm-hmm. And it's going to be digital from day one. So tell us about that.
Yeah, look, I'm not a digital guy. I'm not detailed enough into this subject to really understand the interconnectivity of it. But one of the things that I did recognize and I worked with our team on was, if you don't do digital at the beginning and you try to do it later, the transformational cost is enormous. And when we started looking at some of the digital costs, like I want a smart valve, or I want a smart system, or I want a digital twin, like looking at the cost differential between that and the, let's say, lesser alternative, it's not that much. The issue is that when people want to upgrade facilities in the field, they've got to rip out and throw away the old, replace with new, and then you've got to train everybody on how to do something different. And so we invented this term called born digital. So PureCycle is born digital. What does that mean? It means that we have invested in a really good group that understands the digital landscape really well, and they are building a platform across our company from day one. And so it's got the right foundation, it's got the right IT, it's got the right server layout, it's got all the right interconnectivity. We like Emerson because if you pick a solution that's holistic across the board, the translations between devices becomes a lot smaller, and then the ability to optimize and capture the data is a lot bigger. And so we're born digital. Building this plant out of the ground with a blank sheet of paper gave us the capability to do that, and we're super excited about it.
I'm excited to see it. In fact, I want a tour. Can I put in my reservation
Yeah,
card now?
done.
Outstanding.
Well, I think it's going to be a bit of a flagship case study for the industry, because it's not very often that you get to build a plant with digital in mind from the beginning. Most plants are built new inside of an ecosystem that's not new.
Right.
Like existing company builds a new thing, they kind of got to work it into what they do. We're building straight up from scratch. And that gives us the flexibility to do all those things that people have always wanted to do. And I hear that all the time from our team. It's like, man, I've always wanted to do fill in the blank, X, Y, Z, and now I get to. And I think it's exciting. I know ballpark how much the cost has increased as a result of us being born digital. And I know directionally it's going to give us tremendous ability to optimize the plant and to do great things in the future. But I'm as excited as everybody to see what we're going to be able to do with this machine, because I think when you start talking about AI and plant-wide optics and proactive predictive maintenance, I think that we're going to see the plant in a way it's never been seen before. And I don't even think we understand all the benefits that are going to come.
Fascinating to watch something like that evolve.
Yeah.
How about supply chain? I know supply chain has been affected globally by what we've all been living through for the past 2.5 years. It doesn't sound like that may be the case as much with you folks. I mean, your feedstock is available here in the U.S., right?
Yeah, so there's lots of different ways to think about supply chain. I mean, there's the product end of supply chain, which getting feed and selling products. Okay, that's one piece. But there's also the supply chain to support the build for the plant. I will say that we have had tremendous challenges with building the plant, because we're affected just like everybody else. The one thing that I think is differential, and by all standards, what people tell us is that we are getting our plant started up basically on schedule and effectively 1 year ahead of where everybody else is. So we've really been able to maneuver to maintain schedule more so than others. Part of that's because we are, thinking in a smart way with respect to some digital tools. But mostly it's the spirit of the company. The people in our company have such a desire to go prove what we can do and be differential to the market, that the passion side of our company is really driving, and that's helped us. On the supply chain for the product side, this is really a transformative moment for the industry, because we're going to be able to take plastic waste recovered through the recycling systems and turned it into virgin-like new product. And so we don't have to be tied to the same point sources that existing oil infrastructure needs to be tied to. We can be tied to high population areas or high industrial areas. And that's really why we are where we are. Typical facilities would be in Houston or in the Middle East or in whatever, fill in the blank, big oil-rich type area. But we're able to go where we have people-rich and industry-rich to take their waste and turn it into something new again. And that is a truly transformational type concept.
So it sounds like you're developing the proverbial prototype and the poster child for scaling.
Yeah.
So what's your vision? I mean, where do you want to take this? Where do you see this company in 10 years?
Yeah, so we have a unique technology that we think is differential to the market, that we think is scalable. And every nation that produces plastic waste has an opportunity to install a new facility. And this gets to the digital aspect of what we're trying to do. From a construction perspective, we're building modular designed processes to where we can basically build the Lego, put the Lego set together anywhere we want in the world. From a digital perspective though, what we're doing is we're integrating all of our work processes into the digital infrastructure. So when it comes to training or procedures or IPL management or process safety management or occupational safety management or procedures or whatever, they're going to be integrated into our digital framework, so that when we go to plant location 2, 3, 4, we don't have to reinvent the wheel again. We can copy and paste what we've built digitally. And I'll tell you that building the first plant digitally, I tell my team, I'm like, man, I know this is the right decision, but boy, it's tough to do it right now, because it's like we're biting off a pretty big chunk to get started on this. But like I know it's the right thing to do, and I know it's going to pay dividends long term, because we'll be able to avoid a lot of the same work in all the future plans.
That makes a lot of sense. In that spirit of apprehension, anything keeping you up at nights right now? Is there any...
Well, I feel like everything keeps me up at night, whether it's the Mississippi River being a little low, or COVID outbreak in Germany, or even, quite frankly, even the war in Ukraine. I mean, that had a big impact on a lot of our German suppliers, and so our schedule is always in flux, trying to navigate this wild, let's say, volatile world that we live in. But what gives me hope and, I guess, some sleep at night is the quality of our team. I mean, people ask me a lot, like, what is the secret sauce for PureCycle? And is it the technology? Yeah, that's really important. Like, our tech is really good. Is it the market? Yeah, that's good too, because everybody wants recycled products, and like, we have that, and it's good. But the real secret sauce for PureCycle is that we have built a team of problem solvers and doers. And this group of people, like, I just, every day, 3 or 4 problems come across the desk, and we always solve them. And so I think that that's the secret sauce for PureCycle. You can't plan for all the things that are going to go wrong in the world, but if you've got the right people, you can handle it. And I really believe that we are well poised for, we're building a company that's going to be really good at problem solving, which is going to put us in a position to be successful for a long time.
Well put. Best of luck to you guys in the journey.
Yeah, well, hey, thanks for the opportunity to talk. Look, I'm not an ITOT guy, but maybe I'll pick up the magazine and read more of the digital print going forward, because I'm definitely getting a crash course in this from my team. So awesome. Thanks very much.